Last chance. On October 17th, your miracle is set to happen 10 minutes after you see this message. But it will only activate if you open it now. Hear now, O child of light, this is no ordinary moment. This is not a coincidence, nor a scroll born out of boredom. This is the last divine summons before a breakthrough that has been long delayed, long prayed for, and long resisted by unseen forces. Mark the date, October 17th, a moment not written by man, but etched by heaven's decree. That day where the lines between the spiritual and the natural shall blur, and what has been delayed shall begin to pour. But hear this, the miracle will not fall by chance. It is timed, not random. It is holy, not automatic. You are not seeing this now by human design, but by divine instruction. This message, yes, this very one before your eyes, was scheduled by heaven to arrive in your hands at this moment, in this hour. And when the time reaches 10 minutes from now, the portals of divine alignment begin to open. 10 minutes, not by accident, but by angelic countdown. A sacred synchronization between the realm of God's throne and the place where your feet now stand. That 10-minute window is a consecrated space in time, a divine seal between heaven's release and earth's readiness. Not all will feel the weight of this urgency. Not all will discern the fire behind these words. But you, yes, you reading now, you are not like the rest. You have been chosen to recognize the timing, chosen to feel the tremble of heaven's clock. You've been sensing something, haven't you? That unspoken urgency, that divine pressure, like something is shifting in the unseen. It is not your imagination. It is the whisper of eternity calling you into position. But know this, delay is disconnection. Obedience is alignment. What you do next determines whether the miracle enters or passes by. The instruction is simple, yet eternal in weight. Open it now. Do not walk away. Do not wait. Do not second guess. For what is unlocked in these next moments shall not be granted again. This is not just a message. This is the door. The heavens are watching. The Spirit is waiting. The countdown has already begun. Type "I am ready" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1717 is now activated. Spirit of the living God, speak now. Speak to the one whose eyes have been led to this moment. Speak to the one whose soul has been pulled here by invisible strings. Speak to the one who didn't come by curiosity, but by divine summoning. Heaven is counting and only 10 minutes remain. Yes, 10 minutes. That's all. Not 10 hours. Not 10 days. 10 sacred minutes. For the one who will not scroll away. For the one who will not rationalize this moment away. For the one who can feel that something in the spirit realm has been waiting for this divine collision of message and moment. You. Yes, you. Heaven has measured your timeline. There has been a countdown over your life that you could not see, but now you can feel. It began when you were stirred in the middle of the night for no reason. It continued when dreams became strange, filled with faces you haven't seen in years or places you've never visited before. It whispered through the silence, through the ache, through the moments you questioned, why does it feel like I'm waiting for something I cannot name? That's because you were. You were waiting for this. This message is not information. It is activation. The holy clock is ticking. Right now. As you read. As your heart begins to race. As your spirit leans forward. There is a switch in the spiritual realm that is about to flip. And when it does, chains you never saw will snap. Doors you forgot to pray for will open. debts, emotional, financial, relational, will begin to dissolve. But hear me clearly only if you respond in the now. This is not for everyone. This isn't a motivational message. This is a divine interruption. This is for the one who has ears to hear. This is for the one who has asked heaven, "Where are you in the silence?" This is for the one who has said, "God, if you still see me, send me a sign." This is your sign. You weren't supposed to be here, yet here you are. Because you weren't called by algorithm, you were summoned by heaven. You were brought into alignment with this word, this moment, and this window. October 17th is not coming. It is already moving in the spirit. A storm of divine movement is already being stirred in the heavens. You are on the edge of something you cannot yet name, but it has already been named in heaven. It is called breakthrough. But the breakthrough will not wait. It requires response. It requires obedience. Not later. Now. You see, when heaven aligns a moment, it does so with precision, not emotion. Faith, not feelings. Your miracle is not delayed because God forgot you. It's been waiting on your response. Waiting for your yes. Waiting for you to step into a moment measured before you were born. 10 minutes. That's the portal. That's the crossing. That's the flash of glory you've been sensing just beyond your reach. And I say this again, you were not supposed to scroll here, you were summoned. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 888 is now surrounding you. There's been a strange stirring in your soul lately, hasn't there? A weight you cannot explain. An unease that hovers, like the air just before a storm. It's not fear, no, this is different. It's a holy unrest. A divine tension pulling on your emotions, whispering that something is shifting, even when your eyes see no proof. You've tried to brush it off. You've tried to shake it. But it won't leave. And that's because it's not meant to. Heaven has placed you under a prophetic pressure, not to break you, but to birth something through you. What you've been sensing is not paranoia. It's not overthinking. It's prophetic disruption. It is the spirit realm echoing through your emotions, trying to alert your spirit. Something is about to happen. And if you've noticed, people around you have changed too. Some have gone silent. Others have grown cold. Certain relationships feel like they're evaporating. Conversations have become hollow. Old friends seem distant. People you used to rely on have become strangers overnight. And you've wondered, did I do something wrong? No, you didn't. But something around you is being spiritually disrupted because of what's about to emerge within you. They can sense the shift, but they cannot name it. They feel the movement, but they do not understand the message. And so, they withdraw. They misunderstand. They pull away. But child, listen. You are not being rejected. You are being realigned. Those who cannot walk into your next cannot remain in your now. And so the Holy Spirit, with surgical precision, has begun to cut away what cannot cover you in the next season. What you are feeling is the tension of transition, the anxiety of elevation, the silent tremble before the roar of release. There are eyes on you right now that you cannot see. Watchers, not in the physical, but in the spiritual. For the enemy knows what happens when you come into agreement with God's timing. The enemy knows what unfolds when obedience meets divine precision. So he's tried to distract you, confuse you, overwhelm you. He sent whispers, warfare, weariness. But still, here you are, reading, listening, waiting, because your spirit knows what your mind can't yet explain. You felt the pull, the unseen magnet of destiny dragging you towards something unfamiliar, but undeniable. You've been hearing heaven say, "Get ready." You've woken up in the middle of the night without reason. You've heard the silence speak louder than the noise. You've felt like the atmosphere is heavier, like the world is quieter, but not because nothing is happening. On the contrary, everything is happening at once. This isn't absence. It's preparation. And I must warn you, do not misinterpret the quiet for abandonment. This silence is not heaven's rejection. It is heaven's reconstruction. You are not being overlooked. You are being positioned. The silence you feel is the sound of angels arranging divine intersections. God has removed the noise so you can hear the signal, so you can receive the instruction, so you can finally open what has been waiting to be opened in you. You are standing at the edge of fulfillment, and the spirit realm knows it. That is why everything feels unsettled. That is why emotions feel raw. That is why relationships feel fragile. Because the veil is thinning, and what is hidden is about to be revealed. The countdown has not stopped. And now, you must decide what to do with what you feel. Type "I receive alignment" in the comments if this message has struck your spirit. Blessing code 444 is now active around you. And if this divine message is piercing your soul and aligning your spirit, I invite you to join in the mission of spreading this holy fire to others. Every time you give, through Super Thanks, membership, or a seed on PayPal, you are not supporting a platform. You are partnering with heaven to reach souls on the edge of breakthrough. Just like this message found you, your support makes it possible for another wandering heart to be caught in divine alignment. This is the sowing that unlocks harvests. God says in 2 Corinthians 9:10, "I will supply seed to the sower and multiply your store." That promise is alive right now, and your obedience activates it. I feel in the spirit, someone watching has been waiting for a divine opportunity to give. This is it. You're not just giving, you're unlocking someone else's miracle. The link to sow via PayPal is in the video description, and YouTube's thanks or join buttons are open for you now. Let your giving be prophetic. Let it be instant. Let it be powerful. Give now. Heaven is watching. A harvest is waiting. Do not be deceived by the confusion around you. Do not be shaken by the chaos. What looks like life falling apart is actually the supernatural pulling things into divine alignment. This is not punishment. This is positioning. And the spiritual tension you've been feeling, that weight that sits heavy in your chest, that war that wages in your mind, that resistance rising in the relationships around you, it is not coincidental. It is warfare. The closer you get to your breakthrough, the louder the resistance becomes. You see, the enemy doesn't waste energy on those who pose no threat. But you, yes, you've been targeted because you are anointed. Because the favor on your life carries too much weight to go unnoticed in the spirit realm. Hell has monitored your progress. Demonic assignments have been deployed to distract, discourage, and derail you. But here's what they don't know. Your faith has been forged in the fire, and you are still standing. Every opposition has been a signpost that you are moving in the right direction. Every battle has been confirmation that you are carrying something worth stealing. The resistance is not random. It is reactive. The enemy is responding to what heaven has already declared over you. October 17th is not just a date. It is a spiritual appointment. It is a divine reversal. It is a crossing. And hell knows what happens when you arrive at it in full obedience. That's why the pressure has increased. That's why warfare has intensified. But child of God, hear this. The battle is not the evidence of absence. It is the proof of prophecy. The enemy attacks what he fears. He fears your agreement with God. He fears your obedience in this hour. He fears your realization that the pain you endured was not punishment, it was training. It was divine conditioning. It was heaven building a warrior, not a wanderer. Your anointing has been recorded. Your suffering has not been ignored. Heaven has catalogued every tear, every sleepless night, every moment you chose silence over retaliation, every time you worshipped while bleeding. The Spirit says, I have seen it all. I have not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are not behind. You are being prepared. And the warfare is intensifying not because you're failing, but because you're close. Closer than you've ever been. This message, this very moment, is a divine alert. The pressure is prophetic, and you must discern how to move. You must learn to respond not in the flesh, but in the spirit. When people misunderstand you, remain silent. When the door closes, keep praising. When confusion rises, stay anchored. For heaven is watching not just what happens to you, but how you respond in the middle of it. Your reactions are being recorded. The Lord is examining your faith in the silence, not just your fire in the spotlight. So hear me now. The delay is not a denial. The warfare is not a warning to retreat. It is a signal to advance. You must not shrink back. You must not self-sabotage. You must not misread this resistance as rejection. You are on the threshold of what you've cried for, fasted for, and waited for. The countdown continues. October 17th is still approaching. And the question is not whether God is ready. The question is, will you still be standing when the miracle arrives? Because the weight of glory that's coming it will not land on broken obedience. It will fall on the one who endured well, the one who believed through the battle, the one who refused to give up, even when they couldn't hear a sound from heaven. Heaven has taken note. Your silence was loud in the spirit. Your endurance echoed through eternity. Type I am still standing in the comments if this word is for you. Blessing code 3131 is activated in your atmosphere. I speak now to the one who can feel the air getting heavier, the one who can sense the pressure rising in their spirit, like the stillness that descends just before heaven releases its thunder. October 17th is not coming. It is already thundering in the realm of the spirit. The countdown is not symbolic. It is sacred. And you are approaching the edge of something divine, something irreversible, something appointed before you were even born. Listen carefully. The spiritual tension that is now peaking in your life is not random. It is prophetic pressure. It is the spiritual warning before divine action. The realm of darkness knows that something is about to break over your life. The enemy has sensed the movement. He has smelled the oil. He has heard your name echoing in heaven's chambers. And now, everything that once tolerated your presence is beginning to resist your promotion. Because what is about to be released cannot be contained by your old atmosphere. You've likely noticed it already. People are being agitated around you for no reason. Old cycles are suddenly reappearing. Familiar temptations have resurfaced. Distractions are multiplying. Confusion is being sown where peace once ruled. All of it is a final attempt by the adversary to pull you backward, to trick you into thinking that nothing is changing, that nothing is moving, that this is just another moment of false hope. But hear the word of the Lord. It is not false hope. It is divine pressure. Because within 10 minutes of receiving this word, heaven begins its move. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Within minutes. Within breath. The 10-minute window is not poetic, it is prophetic. It is a divine transaction zone. A crack in time where angels move swiftly, assignments are delivered, and things hidden in darkness are brought into the light. And you, yes, you, are standing in the middle of it. You must be alert now. You must be vigilant. Because the enemy will try one final time to intercept what is yours. He will use familiar faces, familiar situations, even familiar voices to try and pull you back into cycles you've already conquered. But you cannot go back. You must not entertain it. Because the window is narrow. The opening is sacred. One wrong turn, one act of disobedience, one moment of delay, and the divine movement for you could pass by. There are angels standing at the borders of your breakthrough, waiting for your response. They are not moved by feelings. They are moved by obedience. They are not waiting for your emotions to catch up. They are waiting for your faith to speak. They are positioned, aligned, dispatched, ready to execute heaven's instruction the moment your spirit aligns. And I say to you now, if you open this word in this moment, heaven opens with you. But if you delay, the gate closes. The opportunity thins. The spiritual environment cools. And what was once accessible becomes distant. Not because God rejected you, but because divine moments are fragile. They require reverence. They require response. So do not wait for confirmation when God has already sent this word. Do not ask for another sign when the trumpet has already sounded. Do not stall when the cloud of glory has already begun to move. There is no more time to debate. No more time to second guess. This is the last chance before the shift. This is the final warning before the door seals. Within these next minutes, if you posture your heart, if you obey the instruction, if you silence the noise, heaven will begin to respond in your direction. Not metaphorically. Not someday. Immediately. Do not miss your moment. Type "I will not miss IT" in the comments if your spirit agrees. Blessing code 9191 is descending now upon your house. Be still. That is the word echoing now from the throne of heaven. Be still, child of God, not because nothing is happening, but because everything is. In this holy moment, your silence is not weakness, it is warfare. Your stillness is not passivity, it is participation. Heaven does not move in noise, it moves in alignment. And right now, alignment demands your surrender. Not your effort, not your logic, just your stillness. You must understand, this is not the time to talk to others about what you're feeling. This is not the time to explain spiritual things to unspiritual ears. This is not the time to post about it, text about it, or ask for opinion. This is sacred ground. This moment is holy, and it requires your full attention. The countdown has begun, and the wind of God is beginning to move. But only those who posture themselves in obedience will feel it. Only those who pause will perceive it. Heaven is moving, but not where there is noise. Heaven is moving where there is reverence. The next 10 minutes of your life are not ordinary. They are an invitation. A divine instruction has been whispered, Be still. Do not call. Do not post. Do not worry. Just breathe and receive. For it is not your striving that unlocks the promise. It is your surrender. It is not your explaining that moves angels. It is your quiet agreement. It is not your planning that shifts the atmosphere. It is your stillness under command. There is a reason this moment feels so fragile. Because it is. You are in a thin place, a narrow passage, where the glory of God brushes close against the fabric of your now. Heaven is closer than it has ever been. And in this nearness, noise becomes dangerous. Movement becomes misalignment. Only stillness protects what is being written. Child of God, you've been in a storm. You've been fighting, praying, declaring. But now, you must stop warring and start receiving. You've done your part. Now let heaven do its. This 10-minute window is not yours to fill with activity. It is yours to sanctify with surrender. Sit in silence. Let the weight of God's presence settle over you like a cloud. Close your eyes. Let the wind of the Spirit wrap around your heart. This is your activation posture. Nothing can intercept what heaven has assigned to your name. Not delay. Not people. Not confusion. No demon, no past, no trauma, no words spoken against you can interfere now. The only danger is disobedience. So obey this. Pause. Wait. Let it come to you. The miracle is already moving. You don't need to chase it. Just posture your spirit and stay in stillness. Let God confirm what you already know deep inside, that this is your moment. That the shift is happening. That the countdown is real. It may feel strange to do nothing when you've been trained to strive. But the kingdom doesn't move like the world. The kingdom moves by posture, not pressure. By yielding, not yelling. And when you choose to be still, the roar of heaven becomes louder than your own voice. So here is your divine instruction, and it must not be broken. For the next 10 minutes, shut everything else down. Disconnect from the noise. Let no voice but the voice of the Spirit enter your atmosphere. Sit. Breathe. Worship. Say nothing. Move not an inch. Heaven is descending, and it only rests where there is stillness. The miracle is already walking toward your name. Let it find you in the right position. Type "I am postured" in the comments if you receive this command. Blessing code 1177 is resting over your atmosphere. You are no longer the one who doubts. You are no longer the one who delays. You are no longer the one who stands at the edge of the promise, peering in with fear. You have crossed a threshold, not in your emotions, but in your spirit. A line has been drawn in the unseen realm, and heaven has marked your name with a new word, ready. You are not who you were when you started this message. You have shifted. You have stepped forward. You have begun to walk in the power of divine certainty. The confusion you carried is breaking. The fear that once ruled your mind is dissolving. The shame that wrapped itself around your calling is lifting. This is not imagination. This is not motivation. This is transformation. You are becoming someone new, not because you are trying harder, but because you have finally stopped resisting. You are now aligned with heaven, and that alignment is releasing identity. It is reintroducing you to the version of you that was spoken before the foundations of the world. The version that hell tried to bury. The version the world tried to label. The version that now stands in holy boldness, anointed and unshaken. You are not in hiding. You are an emergence. The cocoon has cracked. The darkness that once surrounded you was never meant to crush you. It was meant to develop you. The silence wasn't punishment. It was preparation. And now, the Spirit of God is saying, come forth. Like Lazarus, you are rising from what others thought was over. Like Joseph, you are stepping out of the pit into prophetic fulfillment. Like Esther, you are realizing that you were chosen for such a time as this. The waiting wasn't wasted. The delay wasn't dead space. It was divine development. While you wept, you were growing. While you wondered, you were maturing. And now, the shift is not just happening around you. It is happening within you. You are no longer responding like a victim. You are moving like a victor. You are no longer asking for a sign. You are becoming the sign. The favor that's been waiting on the other side of obedience is now being released. Because favor doesn't fall on potential, it falls on posture. And your posture has changed. You don't need permission anymore. You carry power. You don't need to explain your process to those who never walked it. You don't need to justify your miracle to those who question your pain. This moment is not about proving anything to man. It's about fulfilling what heaven spoke over your life. You have been called, confirmed, and now commissioned. Heaven is not wondering if you are ready. Heaven is moving because you finally are. The authority you feel rising is not arrogance. It is divine confirmation. It is the echo of God's yes reverberating through your bones. Walk in it. Declare it. Don't shrink back into the old version of you that waited for approval. That version has expired. That identity has been shed. You've crossed the line. Let the world watch. Let the old systems resist. Let the ones who doubted sit in silence. Your time is not coming. It has come. Your posture has unlocked permission. Your obedience has activated the outpour. And from this moment on, you no longer move as one waiting. You move as one walking. Heaven has confirmed your authority. Now walk in it without apology. Type I am walking in authority in the comments if you receive this shift. Blessing code 1010 is marching before you. Let the veil now be torn. Let the mystery that's been surrounding your waiting season now be broken open. Because what was hidden is now being revealed. Not by man. Not by emotion. But by divine timing. Hear it loud in your spirit. This 10-minute window you stepped into is not symbolic. It is synchronized. It is a collision between divine timing and earthly alignment. You are standing in the very center of something heaven has orchestrated for years. And now the Spirit speaks. It is time. October 17th is not just a date. It is a code. A divine marker in time that signals reversal, restoration, and release. There are dates that change the calendar, and then there are dates that change the spiritual record. October 17th is one of those dates. This is not just your breakthrough. This is your prophetic unlocking. What has been held up, what has been resisted, what has been circling, now comes into divine order. There is something you need to know. And hear me clearly, for this is not poetic language. This is prophetic utterance. Your name has been spoken in heaven. Not just whispered in prayer. Not just mentioned in hope. Spoken with authority in the throne room of God. While you were crying, your name was being written on scrolls of fulfillment. While you were silent, angels were echoing your obedience before the Father. And now the Spirit of God declares, the books are being opened. Your delay has not been denial. It has been divine documentation. Every act of obedience, every hidden sacrifice, every moment you wanted to walk away but chose to stay, it has been counted. And now, heaven's justice system is releasing what has been owed. This is your release moon. Your release from confusion. Your release from delay. Your release from the fear that always waited at the door of your destiny. And child of God, this moment has always been scheduled. Before you entered this year, before you faced this battle, before the heartbreak, before the questions, before the silence, this moment, this message, was already assigned to meet you at the intersection of surrender and obedience. The number 17, in biblical terms, signifies overcoming the enemy and complete victory. October, the 10th month, is the number of divine order. Together, October 17th becomes a convergence, a prophetic code where heaven says, enough. Now begins the reversal. This is not just your answer. This is your divine realignment. What was upside down is turning right side up. What was missing is being restored. What was impossible is becoming inevitable. You are now in the center of what you once thought was too far. You are now touching what you used to only dream of. You are now aligned with the version of yourself heaven always saw. The release isn't coming. It is happening. The heavens are no longer quiet. The silence has turned into movement. The war is shifting. The gates are opening. And the favor that was held back is now being poured out with speed. What was whispered in the secret is about to be shouted in the open. And all who watched your pain will now witness your rising. Because your obedience was louder than your fear. And now, your reward will be louder than your warfare. Type "My name has been spoken in heaven" in the comments if this revelation bears witness with your spirit. Blessing code 1710 is now opening gates over your life. If this word has ignited something deep in your spirit, if it feels like this revelation was written specifically for you, then I invite you to become a divine messenger with us. When you give, whether it's through super thanks, membership, or a PayPal offering, you're not just giving into content, you are sowing into eternal purpose. Souls across the globe are hearing heaven through these messages because of your obedience. This is your seed of alignment. Just like you were reached, others are waiting for their moment, and your giving becomes their doorway. God is saying to the cheerful giver, you are not funding a screen. You are releasing my word like rivers over dry land. That's how serious this is. That's how sacred this is. The PayPal link is in the video description, and the thanks and join options are ready if your heart is stirred. Let your giving echo this word. Let your sacrifice be prophetic. Let your act of faith become someone else's miracle. Give boldly. Give immediately. The window is open, and so is heaven. The door has opened, not in the natural first, but in the unseen realm. And now comes the moment where your miracle requires your mouth. Yes, your words, your agreement, your activation. You cannot receive what you refuse to declare. You cannot walk in what you will not say. Heaven is listening now, waiting on your voice. There is power in the words you speak, power to shape, to bind, to release, to unlock. And in this very moment, what you declare becomes the bridge to your destiny. The angelic realm is not looking for perfection. It is waiting for alignment. And when your words align with God's will, the earth begins to shift. What has been locked begins to shake. What has been stalled begins to move. What has been denied is overturned. You must not be passive here. You must activate. You must move with intentional faith, not hesitant hope. This is not the time to think about responding. This is the moment to say it. Claim it. Shout it if you must. Your miracle does not bow to silence. It answers the sound of obedience. Your future is voice-activated. Your favor is faith-activated. Your destiny is declaration-activated. Say it now. I receive. I align. I activate. These are not just words. These are spiritual keys. These are the access codes to divine downloads. The moment you speak them with a heart that believes, the atmosphere around you will begin to break open. The resistance will weaken. The heaviness will lift. The fog will clear. Because the countdown has not stopped. The clock is still ticking. And every tick of time is drawing you deeper into divine release. The mistake most people make is assuming that miracles happen without their involvement. But the kingdom doesn't operate on silence. It operates on agreement. And what you say in this moment will determine what you step into in the next. You've been praying for doors to open. They are. But they don't swing on their own. They require your hand. And your voice is the hand in the Spirit. You must not hesitate. You must not wait for everything to make sense. You must not stall until you feel worthy. You are not activating your future based on feelings. You are activating it based on faith. You are saying yes to something that has already been written, already been paid for, already been waiting. The angels are in motion. The heavens are responding. The winds are shifting. But it cannot land on silence. It must land on your yes. Say it now. Yes, Lord. I say yes to the shift. Yes to the calling. Yes to the miracle. Yes to the move. And do not take it back. Seal it in the Spirit. Say it with all your strength. Speak it with authority. Whisper it if you must, but say it. Because hesitation disconnects what faith is meant to deliver. Doubt delays what obedience could unlock. But when your heart says yes, and your voice follows, heaven moves. The 10-minute window you are inside right now is a prophetic hallway. Each second is divine ground. Each breath is an opportunity to cross over into the next version of you. Don't wait to feel it. Declare it now. Let the gates respond. Let the angels align. Let the shift settle. This is not symbolic. This is a spiritual transaction. Say it now. And let heaven finish what obedience just began. Type I activate my destiny in the comments to seal it. Blessing Code 5555 is now igniting breakthrough pathways around you. What you do not see is still real. What you cannot touch is still happening. Right now, while you read these words, there is an exchange taking place in the spirit realm. Quiet, holy, unstoppable. It does not make a sound in your natural ear, but in the heavens, there is movement. There is noise. There is dispatch. Angels are moving. Paths are being opened. Chains are being broken. Assignments are being realigned. And all of it is because of your response. This moment is not about emotion. It's about recognition. Your soul has recognized the moment, and now heaven is responding. Not loudly, not with spectacle, but with holy strategy. God is not a showman. He is a builder. And what he builds with the unseen. While your hands are still, his hand is at work. While your mouth has declared yes, his spirit has released keys, angels, and scrolls that bear your name. There are divine transactions taking place now, supernatural paperwork being signed, delays being revoked, approvals being issued, and new alignments being recorded in the book of destiny. And yet, to the human eye, it still looks like nothing changed. But oh, how wrong that assumption would be. Because in the stillness of this moment, a holy construction is underway. The scaffolding of your miracle is being lifted. The walls of divine reversal are being raised. The foundation of your next season is being laid in quiet power. This is what the enemy feared most. Not your shouting, but your surrender. Not your striving, but your silence. Because he knows that heaven's most powerful moves are often invisible. He knows that once you obey in the quiet, God begins to thunder in the spirit. And that's exactly what's happening now. You may still feel the same. The room around you may not look different, but spiritually, your environment has shifted. The temperature has changed. The air is now pregnant with completion. And though it hasn't appeared in the natural yet, the delay is ended. The construction has begun. Heaven does not announce the beginning of its works in flashing lights. It marks them with internal confirmations. That stirring you feel, that lightness, that sudden peace, it's because the exchange is happening. What was once denied is now being processed. What was once locked is now being edited. What once said pending in the spirit now reads released. And even if no one else can feel it, even if your circumstances haven't caught up to it yet, you must anchor yourself in this truth. God is already moving on your behalf. You don't have to push anymore. You just have to walk it out. The weight is lifting not because it disappeared, but because God has picked it up. And make no mistake, this is not about hype or hope. This is about heaven's system of fulfillment. What was taken is being returned. What was stolen is being repaid. What was lost is being redirected. And all of it is being done in this moment of silent agreement. You've said yes. You've postured yourself. You've obeyed. And now heaven is handling what your hands never could. You are not stuck. You are not late. You are not being punished. You are being rebuilt. The delay wasn't denial. It was divine construction. Let the unseen finish what you've started in the spirit. Type I receive what heaven is building in the comments to stay in agreement. Blessing though 2323 is completing what was once delayed. Let it be known in the spirit. Everything that was taken from you is now under divine investigation. Every moment that was stolen, every opportunity that was blocked, every promise that felt hijacked by the enemy, every tear shed in silence, every betrayal carried quietly, heaven has seen it all. And now, the judge of all the earth is rising with gavel in hand. This is no longer about delay. This is no longer about endurance. This is about justice. You did not suffer for nothing. You did not cry in vain. The losses you endured, the relationships that crumble, the doors that slammed in your face, the promotions that slipped through your hands, the peace that was stole from your nights, all of it has been building a divine case in heaven's court. And now the case is closed. The verdict is being read. The decision is this: it must be returned, and it must be returned multiplied. For the Spirit of God says, I have seen what they tried to do. I have seen the hands that rose against you, the lies spoken about you, the sabotage plan behind closed doors. I have seen how you were mistreated when no one else stood up for you. I have seen how your name was dragged, how your heart was crushed, how your voice was silenced. But because you held your peace, I will now release my power. Because you did not retaliate, I will now restore. This is divine reversal. Not just recompense. Not just comfort. But full-blown, undeniable, supernatural reversal. where the last shall be first, where the overlooked shall be chosen, where the mocked shall be crowned, where the forgotten shall be remembered, and not in secret, but in front of those who thought it was over for you. Those who walked away will now have to watch what God does next. Heaven has not just seen your tears, heaven has counted them. And like rain that has watered the ground, those tears have prepared the soil for a harvest of restoration. The Spirit says, I will repay. I will vindicate. I will lift. I will reverse what was meant for your destruction and turn it into the foundation of your destiny. What the enemy meant to bury you with is the very soil where your miracle will bloom. Some of you have suffered in silence for so long that you almost forgot what justice feels like. But heaven never forgot. The divine scales are now tipping. The imbalance is being corrected. The record is being amended. Your name is being cleared. The lies are being dismantled. The enemy's grip is being torn off what belongs to you. And the season of injustice ends here. God is not just giving you back what you lost. He is giving it back with interest. You will not simply be restored. You will be upgraded, elevated, increased. For what was taken unlawfully must now be returned righteously. Not just emotionally, not just relationally, but spiritually, financially, mentally, even generationally. And this is not some future promise to dangle in front of you. This is the current atmosphere. This is the now. The justice of God is moving swiftly, and divine reversal is being executed like lightning across the landscape of your life. It has already begun. What was withheld is being released. What was dead is being revived. What was silenced is now being declared from the courts of heaven. Your miracle is no longer pending. It is processing. And soon, it will be undeniable. Not only to you, but to everyone who thought the story ended before God was done. Type I receive my justice in the comments if this is your divine reversal moment. Blessing Node 8822 is restoring what was stolen. Let it be sealed now. Let it be finished in the courts of heaven. Let it be written and declared over your life. October 17th is no longer a date to wait for. It is now a banner over your destiny. What was once an unknown space in your calendar has become a prophetic monument. A divine timestamp where heaven stood still and the Spirit of God said, this one, they're ready now. You've seen the signs. You've felt the urgency. You've sensed the pull. And now the confirmation has come. This was not just a message. This was a door. You didn't just hear words. You encountered instructions, and you followed. You aligned. You surrendered. And now the countdown has reached its fulfillment. You are no longer watching from the sidelines. You are walking into manifestation. From this day forward, the delay that clung to your name must fall off. The fear that hunted your purpose must be silenced. The identity that was formed in your wilderness must give way to the name heaven wrote in fire. You are no longer the one waiting to be chosen. You are the one that God has called, raised, marked, and sent. You are no longer on pause. You are in motion. And now, with all of heaven's authority backing these words, I declare this blessing over you. May peace flood your spirit like a river. May every anxious thought melt in the presence of divine assurance. May the clarity of your next step be illuminated like fire on the path. May your discernment sharpen. May your voice rise. May your boundaries hold. May your favor increase. May your name be carried on the winds of breakthrough. I decree over your house, you are covered. You are seen. You are sent. You are sealed. No demon, no delay, no detour can remove what God has spoken. And now that the heavens have marked this word in your life, the earth must make room for it. The doors must open. The provision must appear. The healing must flow. The justice must manifest. The miracle must arrive. And as you stand in the afterglow of this divine encounter, don't look for a sign. You are the sign. Don't ask if it's time. This is the time. Don't wait for approval. Heaven has already approved you. Go forward now, not with hesitation, but with holy confidence. Your miracle has already begun. You have opened it. You have received it. You have become it. October 17th, the day heaven wrote in secret, has now found its echo in your obedience. It is done. It is done. It is done. Type IT is sealed in the comments to confirm this word over your life. Blessing code 7777 is now resting on your destiny. If this message has marked your spirit, if the presence of God moves through these words like a wind through your soul, then you've just experienced what others are still crying out to find. This is more than content. This is a divine assignment, and you can become part of this holy mission. When you give, you help light the path for someone else's breakthrough. Your support through Super Thanks, YouTube membership, or a PayPal seed in the description below doesn't just bless a channel. It releases prophetic truth into waiting hearts across the world. Heaven multiplies what you sow. Just as this message reached you at the perfect moment, your giving becomes the reason it reaches the next one. The word declares in Proverbs 11:25, "A generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed." Let your giving be a key that unlocks restoration in both their life and yours. The moment is now. The mission is alive. Step into it with obedience. Let your seed carry glory. Give boldly. Sow immediately. Be part of the move. Heaven sees it. Heaven multiplies it.